What's up, everyone? Today we're going to look at some games from Red Bull Wololo Qualifier number 1 for Red Bull Wololo 4. So first up, Project Belgium versus BacT. Two of my teammates, well, previous teammates, I haven't been playing in a long time, and I think our team's kind of not doing anymore. Okay, what the hell is this? Ring Fortress. Oops, wrong button. Okay, so you're kind of like walled in-ish. And you have wood outside. And we got Khmer for Project Belgium. And Mayans. Okay, well, Mayans makes it easy to wall. Finish walling. For BacT, looks like he's going Eagles. And Archers. And a Spear. Okay. Going right to the edge of the map. I think that makes a lot of sense. Easy to do if you go to the TC. Okay. And we can see Project Belgium going Scouts right away. Not finding much. And he's got one spear just in case anything sneaks by. 2 spears, okay. And going straight to Castle Age. I think that makes sense. If I'm going to kick this away. Try and do some counter damage here. Makes sense. Right for the berries. Yeah, I like that. If you're I mean, you're trying to hit whatever's out front, but if you're going to attack too, it's nice to get the food. Slow down their castle time. Housed here. Okay, oops. But he goes up anyway. Now, I do think you want to get fletching right away, or armor, depending what if you're going Eagles or Archers. Okay, 2 ranges. Looks like he's chose Archers. Might make sense with all the hills here. Oh, interesting. How is this to jump in? You could almost leave him. Yeah, fair enough. Interesting idea by Project Belgium here. Realizing that you don't need to defend everything as long as you can keep it safe. Might have some idle time, but... Yeah, and go for the Archer upgrades, okay, so he's definitely going Archers here. And as you can see, Project Belgium trying to do damage on the Spears, because he knows he wants his first couple Knights or Elephants to deal with this. Siege Shop right away, and again, straight in. I'm liking this style from BacT. Oh, and pikes too. Look at that. There you go. You want to keep the pressure on. Pikemen are definitely a way to do it with all these hills. A couple TCs. Against Knights, this is a great strategy. Obviously, once there's some Mangonels or Scorpions, he can deal with this, but if you're booming in the background, you're getting ahead in economy, and your military's not suffering like crazy or anything. Tries to pick off the Scorp, the Eagle. Nice thing is, where the houses are, is if you run to the houses, yeah, you lose some units there. Now, obviously, Project Belgium does clear it up, which I think we kind of expected. You don't expect these armies to live against faster Knights and Scorpions, but you do hope to keep your opponent busy while you crank out some TCs and a bunch of vills. Let's see here. Okay, that's 8 Knights, Scorp. I would run if I was BacT. You need a couple monks, I think. He's got the gold for it. I think he had a monastery. A couple monks. Maybe a siege shop too. But I think he's going to lose this fight, actually. Yeah. Not the best fight. I did okay, though. Would have been nicer to fight up the hill if he could sneak back a little sooner. But I still think he's ahead in economy. That Mangonel came on the weird side there. And if you had a monastery and you converted 2 Knights, like you could have used those to kill the Scorpions. So I would say that's a minor improvement for BacT here. But he's doing a good job holding the pressure, kind of keeping his vills safe. A lot on wood. That's a lot. He does have a back gold here, which is really good, because running out of gold can be a huge problem. I think he needs to focus on winning this army fight now. Oh, good time jumping out. Look at that protection. Okay. Oh, wow. Nice shots from BacT there. One Scorpion, monk, other Scorpion. Now, I think... Let's see here. Oh, wrong one. Yeah, lots of action, okay. Who's ahead in bills? Close and Bills, okay. Knights close and Bills like that. They both really kind of half committed there. But the one thing I will say is once you have pikemen out, it's Knights become, you know, like they're good. You don't want to just do Knights versus pikemen, right? You don't want to be the guy going pikes against just Knights, because then you get raided everywhere. But in a case like this, where BacT is threatening to do damage with archers as well, and he's also probably a little bit ahead in the boom, it's not terrible. Now, oh, nice shot. Nice attack around by BacT there. Now, he is going a little too far, I think, with this. I think after you kill that first one, you probably retreat back. It's a lot of Knights still. I guess he does have 8 pikes now, so it's probably not bad, but... Okay, you did kill the Mangonel. That's important, because... Ooh, not a good fight for Project Belgium there. Probably should have retreated a little earlier. I still would not have taken that fight, even if you could get a good Mangonel shot. Yeah, as you can see, got cleared up there. Very deadly. And in all honesty, if your opponent's going pure pure pike archer like this, you add some scorpions, but you also consider going skirms, you know? Like, if you had, after you have 10 knights and you got a couple scorpions, this is pure skirm bait. Like, it's obviously expensive to go skirms, but this is doing a lot of damage now. Really idle time and bill kills and good little hide here by BacT. Oh my god! I didn't realize Project Belgium was imping. They both imped really early with a very few number of villagers. 80 villagers. Yeah, this is going down, yeah. And BacT watching the map here, and he's good. This is smart. Fight. I don't know why Project Belgium's fighting here. You don't want to fight until you get the upgrades when you hit him. Obviously, sometimes it's hard to avoid, but and the second you get Halberdier upgrade, I feel like Khmer in this spot, they don't have the upgrades for anything that kills this. I honestly think, as Khmer, in late Castle Age there, you had to decide. You had to decide, am I going Cav and Scorps? Or am I adding Skirms into this mix, or even Arbalest? Maybe more Skirms than anything, but... Because now you don't have a counter for Halbs. Like, in small numbers, Scorps don't do it. And especially not Castle Age Scorpions once you get the armor upgrades, so... So he does have Cavalier, but I feel like you're fighting an uphill battle with that army composition. The other thing about this map is the nasty hills. Like, it's archers are so much more powerful when they're on hills like this, and it's very easy to get on hills in various spots. So I think he's got a few scorps still, but yeah, as you see, even just the archers can get him, right? Like. And their castle age like that. And now I think he's just kind of overrun here. It's just too much. BacT smart, watching the sides. But at this point, I think castle right on all the production buildings. It's a smart castle for sure. Yeah, just some raids here. Yeah, and he calls it. I think that makes sense. That was the first game. Let's watch second game. Alright, BacT. Again versus Project Belgium. Magyars versus Italians. And you start with a transport ship. How interesting. Okay, interesting. Oh, Magyars, so he's definitely trying to land, I guess. And you can see immediately BacT reacting by walling in. Which makes sense, because you know Magyars are going to come land and do scouts or something like that, probably. Yeah, 4 vills and a scout. And by the way, for anyone new, this box wall strategy, great. It really helps. It buys you time. Team games, I'd highly recommend you do this. Not necessarily on water maps, but... I mean, on water maps, if you're landed, obviously, it's good still, but... It's just one-on-one in general. Or team games in general. It just buys you time. It doesn't cost much. And you can see BacT here going immediately for the water. And you did scout that there's a landing. Now, in this case, you got a decision to make too. Do you just wall the edge of the map? I think you do on both sides, if it's possible. I'm not sure if it is. Maybe that's why you didn't. And he's doing archers in here. And the other thing you can do, if you see it's an all-out push, I'd rather not, but you could build a tower here, right? You build it slightly forward and then you don't have any issues, because it looks like he's going to come build a tower here, and that's what I expect. But if you second you see that, build it with more villagers, yeah. Smart strategy by BacT here. You can take down the tower, you've got more vills, you can easily hide the weak ones, and he did eventually win the water here too. He is focused on that. On this side, yeah, this is as long as you have the gold to go up, which he did, which is good, and he has a market coming. Oh, and he landed the archers. Sneaky. By starting with that transport ship, I actually like that. You know what? Build your army on your own land. For the meta on this map. I think that's smart. And then just land it. And here, I don't know why... Oh, yeah, okay, I guess it'll work, but... And he's getting crossbowmen and bodkin arrow. Yeah. Okay, kind of being annoying here. And here. But you can add a few crossbows behind your area and you'll be fine. Okay, now what's BacT doing? Still sending archers forward. He's not even defending. I like that. You know what? You can easily build a siege shop at home if you needed a mangonel or two. And obviously, if that army coming here is going to be a pain for Project Belgium to deal with. Even though it's only 4 archers, right? It's just... It's enough to be annoying, for sure. And with that kind of range, like... I like this. Anyways, I think the meta on this map, I think if at a high level, I think what this game has taught us is you want to make a few fires with your dock, you want to build your buildings at home, you want to land your military, and make sure that you have enough army at home to defend, and you can do a TC or whatever else like this. Or this is even better, but... And box wall, I think they bolt that. I think it makes a lot of sense to slowly wall in like that. And that's 11 fish. Yeah, he's not going to be running short of food for a long time. That's for sure. Oh, and there's gold in the middle too, so you definitely want a little bit of water control just so you can put a TC there. I mean, even if you didn't have water control, it looks like you could put a TC kind of in the middle, so that isn't bad. I do think here you want a siege shop for BacT. And he landed forward too. Okay. Just because this is a do or die push from Project Belgium. He does have gold at the bottom, so he doesn't need this spot, but I really don't like giving this spot up either. And smart, converting a knight, yeah, you can use this to kill the mangonels, just go right in. Yeah, good job. Now, of course, this is getting a little crowded. Maybe we consider a TC in the back or something like that. And landing, you're right, you can just go for the gold and the stone in the middle. Ooh, deadly, deadly. Now, I'm going to slow down a touch just because it looks like there's both sides here. Okay, so it's just a few archers raiding. Now, it's one of those things where even with that damage and lots of ill bodies, a few knight bodies there, guard towers, okay. I mean, you can do guard tower defense, that's true. I was thinking more along the lines of mangonel defense, but then just use the walls and bills to keep the mangonel safe. But I guess this, as long as he just kind of stops it dead in his tracks, it looks like the economy of just the fish here makes a huge difference. If you get a dock in the corner, so yeah, it looks like too if you win the fish war, you don't want to go. He's docking all over the place to get fish and fishing chips, but it'd be a lot easier to just leave a few in these areas and send a build to the corners. Oh, geez, and Project Belgium's trying. Maybe that doesn't work here. Okay, let's speed it up again because it looks like it's getting a little lower action here. Okay. Obviously, Project Belgium kind of has this area, but BacT also kind of has docks everywhere. Oh, and he goes pikes. And by the way, I encourage this. If you're ever ahead in economy, like BacT is with all his TCs here, and there's a push and you're just having a tough time dealing with it, by all means, add pikemen. You don't need full upgrades or anything, as you can see, just one armor upgrade. You don't even need the attack upgrade for him. Yeah, and then Project Belgium calls it, that makes sense. Just, he's too far behind in the economy, he's lost water, and obviously BacT has the middle there, so. Let's see the next game here. Alright. BacT as Tatars versus Project Belgium as Aztecs on a very open map. Oh my god, okay, I thought it was graveyard? What is that? Anyways. Whoa, you are far from your TC here. That is sketchy. Well, not sketchy, but you know what I mean, right? Like that's yeah. If I'm Aztecs here, I was about to say I'm gonna go Eagles, especially in early Castle Age. Like, I mean, it's so open, and there's not a lot. It's so open that there's not a lot of spots for archers to hide, right? So, oh geez, sneaks in. That could have been deadly. I don't think he was expecting that. So so it looks like they're gonna turn into a bit of a wall game for a minute here, and BacT going archers and Project Belgium going Eagles. Now the one thing that does happen here is if you go too offensive with the archers, once those Eagles get an armor upgrade, or even without it, I think they're just gonna eat those archers. There's too many Eagles there. It's kind of a free army kill. Might lose one or two, but definitely got the better trade there. And that's what I mean by how open it is. You can't hide those anywhere. Alright. So it looks like they both go into Castle Age. Pretty close time. A little quicker for Project Belgium, but I think it's going to be tough to defend Eagles and Siege here. And maybe a Monastery to grab these relics. That is 5 relics. That is Ooh, Castle. Okay. I guess that stops the push. One way to do it. Alright. Tower defense. Yeah, this is getting awkward. So it does seem to me like Project Belgium has the better civ choice here. And BacT's really doing a lot of things at once. He's got some crossbows, he's got some cav archers. Cav archers good for raiding. And a castle. And if you have a castle with, I was gonna say, you gotta go some Keshiks. They're so inexpensive and strong for their cost. And they gather gold when they're fighting, so even better. Let's see here. Did he get a... He got redemption. Sneaky. Almost stole the mangonel. This all of a sudden becomes a very hard push to stop. Obviously you don't want to shoot your own units there, but... Watchtowers, okay. I don't know if you can stop this push here. I mean, obviously shoot the monks if you can. Oh, wow. Look at BacT, just... 2 mangonels gone instantly. Very good defense. And these cowards still running around trying to raid too, okay. And the hill here. Okay, the hill's definitely helping. You know what? I like what BacT's doing here. Picking off some archers with his raid. Keshik and 4 cav archers. Alright. Good micro. Chased by eagles, okay. Towers, alright. Who's ahead in villagers? That's the question. No, BacT is okay, so he might actually be okay here. If he holds this, he's okay. And I think with the combination of the hill, towers, well, we'll see here, I guess, but I think he can hold this. Needs more Keshiks, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Oh, maybe. It's getting tough. See, these raids are still doing good, but if this goes down, I think BacT's in a pretty dicey spot here. Oh no, run the vills. These are all... Ugh. Go somewhere else, anywhere, instead of just dying. Oh, it looks like Project Belgium really turned this around. And I think this makes sense, because like I was saying, this push is really hard to stop. You got monks for the Keshiks and the siege. Eagles with 5 pierce armor do fine against ranged units. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Eagles and the Rams, yeah. I definitely think that on this map, you definitely want Aztecs, or maybe like Lithuanians or something like that. Because those 5 relics, and I think Cav are way better than archers in an open setting like this. At least for the middle game. That would be the main things I would say. Also, with the 5 relics all in one spot, it's such a huge difference to get 5 relics. Like, even though Project Belgium was behind by 10, 15 milliliters, like 5 relics is still a very, it definitely bridges that gap a little bit. And yeah, I think BacT's in trouble here. He's still ahead in villagers, but what do you make? I think you just mass Keshniks. That's what I would do. But even then, it's... Cat Archer's doing alright, but they still get eaten by Eagles. Yeah, okay with them. I mean, I think you're in trouble. Yeah, he's calling it. And I think that makes sense. He's got the 5 relics. Even if his economy isn't amazing, it doesn't look bad either. He's got 2 TCs and a bunch of bills, but you're not going to be able to hold, even with the castle, and just units get too strong at that point. Interesting game, but definitely well played. Not what I expected, to be honest, but alright, so let's go in our 4th game here. Okay, so BacT is Britons against Project Belgium as Ethiopians. Okay, 2 archer civs. Wow, you spawn close to each other, so I think that 2 archer civs actually makes sense. Well, he's building it over here. I guess he thinks BacT is this way. Usually you want to build your archer ranges towards the front of your base, just because you want to deal with that pressure. I don't know who's winning this. Okay, BacT pulls out. Well, if they fight, they're both going down, I think, but... yeah. But yeah, in a case like this, it's going to be a lot of action early. You might even want 2 archery ranges, in all honesty, and get the upgrades really early. The second you see how close you are, you know, Project Belgium did all the upgrades here. He's actually way ahead in upgrades, so those archers from BacT will die. Yeah. Just, I would say you do want... the second you realize how close you are, that's the time. You get the upgrades, and maybe you add a second range. It does look like BacT is going to be able to wall most of this, so maybe you don't need the second range right away, but... I mean, this is it's a spot where the second you lose, you got 10 villagers there, you got 6 here. Quite a bit of map control there. And you can see they're both, yeah, he's doing the second archery range, as expected. Yeah, and BacT is too. Okay, so I mean, that's what I was thinking too. The second you see this, I mean, in all honesty, if you see this forward gold, I mean, you could even just add 4, you know, skirms build faster than archers. And once you have the upgrades, like, skirms just wreck archers. And you can see they're both adding some skirms. But you can literally just go 8 skirms in a hurry, bring 5 villagers, and tower this gold, right? I mean, that's what I would be considering. I'm not saying you do it, but you definitely consider it. And as you can see, look at BacT, look how many archers he has. Just with the Britons, the faster archery ranges, he's thinking about going to attack the other side. Now, because the box wall is mostly finished, there might be a hole there, but... And you can see Project Belgium kind of watching that. There is still a hole here, I would say. And Project Belgium picks up on that. So he is fully walled. So he can't do a lot of damage. I think at this point, you go castle, and I think that's what BacT's doing. See, they both are doing that. But in all honesty, I think this part, you know for sure it's going to be a skirm archer war here. I think you add siege immediately, and you probably add a university a second you hit castle H2. And if you're Britons, you might add 2 TCs just because they're so cheap, just to make it easier to defend. But it looks like he's doing the economy's trade strategy. Ooh, this is hurting. Good catch from Project Belgium there. Alright. Yeah, adds a TC in the back. Now you can't... The nice thing about when you have house walls is archers and skirms can't really break through house walls. It takes forever. Palisade walls, on the other hand, does not take nearly as long, so... And I think here, I think both of them should add a siege shop towards the front. Surprised not to see that. But you do add skirms, yeah, you add skirms, you get the armor upgrade. I think that makes a lot of sense. It's going to be a ranged war, this game. And in a ranged war, there's a few things you want to know. Like, I mean, obviously, you want to be able to take out their army wherever you can, take the cost-effective fights. If they have ballistics, it gets a lot harder to run. But if you're at full distance away, it's not that bad to run straight away. Siege makes a big difference, which is why I'm surprised not to see it. But they both are booming behind this, which does make sense as well. So Here you try and micro archer back and forth or skirm just to take less hits. I think that'd be an improvement. This economy from Project Belgium, it just looks. See it? Okay, he is adding siege. Okay, that's a lot of skirms here. So I think the second you see that many skirms, like yeah, just okay. And they're both kind of booming behind this. It's hard to say who's ahead. I'm not sure which, you know, obviously Project Belgium looks like he has 7 more vills and this siege, you know, and the Mangano. But I don't know about upgrades. That's the... Okay. Back to retreating here, adding his own siege shop, makes sense. So he was trying to raid in a few different spots, just a single unit. Dicey to fight downhill against the Mangonel, especially with his friends. Alright. Now, the one thing about Britain archers is they do outrange Mangonels, so you can annoy the Mangonels at least a little bit. And good micro by BacT there. Got one of them, and you could probably shoot that other one down if it's not repaired. Now, I definitely agree with this. Garrison your units here. There's a chance that if Project Belgium overcommits, you can jump out and kill the army, especially if the second you kill the Mangonels. But judging by how many, ooh, nice shot. Oh, 2. Ooh, took a bit of damage there. Okay, picks it off. I mean, in this case, it might actually end up going to be who hits him first. I mean, single archer over there, yeah. 2 siege shops, and I think if you have this many skirms and archers around, I think that actually makes sense. He's going for the bills. Ooh, nice shot. And I think one difference that I don't think is as noticeable right here, I mean, obviously with this fight, it looks like BacT got the edge on that one, but BacT has not mined stone. And this is a decision that, you know, a lot of times players make the same decision every game, and I used to be guilty of this. But what you want to do is if your castle can't do a lot of damage or it can't be put up offensively, sometimes it's better to build more vills and go imp faster and a bit more army so that you win the army fight. And then when you're going imp, I was going to say, add stone and you know, build a castle and trap this down. Because you see he's imping first. Oh, it's pretty close actually, but he does have more army as well. So it gives you... It's one of those things where if you could drop a castle right in the middle of someone's base and do a ton of damage, or even kill their production buildings, it makes more sense to do the castle. If you can't do that because it's kind of an equal or army fight that you can win, it actually makes sense to go imp first. And, you know, fight that way. And, you know, I realize I'm going to get some strategic nuances that you see more at the high level here. But I do like BacT's decision in this game. And adding some rams as well, and maybe not the best use there. Okay, so the other thing about this too is I think if Project Belgium got that castle up on this hill, it might have been better to go the castle. I mean, that is a good hill to have too, but you can see because BacT focused on army, he's able to get this hill. And it's right in between the two, and it's kind of a launching pad to attack from, so gotta watch your micro a little bit there, but... And this is the part where I agree with that. I would actually send more scrims than just one. I send 5 in 3 different spots here. You don't see any army. It's time just to be annoying as hell. Even with a tower there, who cares? Like, you know, you'll lose a couple skirms, but they'll distract or kill vills easier. I definitely agree with the town center here. I was going to say even a castle on this hill maybe, or on this side to prevent raiding. You definitely want the rams with this army. You want the trebs. I think he got conscription first, which makes sense. And in this game, it's going to come down a bit to how the fights go in the siege here and that type of stuff. But you are fighting under castle fire on the bottom of a hill, while your enemy is kind of raiding you. That's a dicey spot to fight in, I would say. You can see it. Yeah, it's just you have 8 shots, 8 arrows each. I mean, this is maybe not the best for the archers, but it does feel like BacT with this hill here and just using vills to kill these rams. It's just such a waste of resources for Project Belgium there that it's not ideal. And with 135 vills and the way BacT's kind of taking the map control here, and he's going light cap, and they'll have the archer armor. Yeah, the armor upgrade. Like that's going to be extremely useful for raiding since the game's kind of turned into like an archer and skirm war. I think that's smart. And he's kind of trapping this one castle down and hitting a lot of different sides at once. This gets tough to deal with. Yeah, and just killing the rams, and there's just not enough archers in there to kill the light cap. So, like, if you had 30 archers here, you're just picking off light cap every shot. Like, it's not so bad, but when there's a lot of skirms left in the army, like 6 pierce armor, they're definitely a useful addition there. And he has 140 villagers with minimal idols, 0 idols. Like, BacT is just rocking it here. So, I was going to say, even if you have, there's not really much Project Belgium can do here. He's being pushed on both sides, and BacT can spam light cav and skirms and archers forever, and he's got the golds here, and on the bottom here, and he's pushing with trebs and rams here. I don't think there's much Project Belgium can do at this point, so. But, good series, well played by both of them. Definitely enjoy seeing my old teammates in action. Good games, guys, and good luck, BacT, and hope Project Belgium you come back next round and win qualifier number 2 and get into the final stage there. All right, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed the games, and I'll see you in the next set.